Better Together podcast.
Welcome to the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We're recording today from the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescued Wood Rehab. The Better Together podcast highlights local businesses each week as the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce continues to promote an amazing business community. I'm Marty Woodward from Rescue Wood Rehab, and I am joined by my co-host, the one, the only Brad Marshall from Greater Culture CrossFit here in Fuquay-Varina. Brad, how the heck are you?
Doing well today, Marty. How about yourself? It's been a few days since we've been on the microphone here.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. The weather's getting a little more crisp.
Yeah, by the time this episode releases, it's probably going to be legitimately fall.
We might have a chill and no more leaves on the trees. But
absolutely.
Hey, no, we got to stop talking about that. We got a great guest here today.
We got a fantastic guest today. We've got Dr. Sean Hammonds from Foundations Health and Wellness Chiropractic right here in Fuquay-Varina that was founded in 2021. So, Dr. Sean, thanks so much for joining us on the podcast today.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. It's going to be a fun one.
We were chopping it up a little bit before the episode went live, learning about you moving from Ohio, studying down in Florida, and then eventually located here in Fuquay-Varina. But we'd love to hear a little bit more about your story of what got you into chiropractic care, and then how did that lead you to eventually starting Foundations Health and Wellness?
Yeah. So my story, I would say, is a little different than the typical. Usually a chiropractor either went to a chiropractor before or grew up in a family of chiropractors. Mine was a little different. I actually never saw a chiropractor until I was probably in college or late high school, I would say. But I had friends, and I had a coach that went to a chiropractor and was telling me about it. He had headaches, he had allergy issues, and he was telling me how he went to this chiropractor and he was helpful for all these things. So I got interested. I was like, well, let me go check him out. Maybe he'll let me shadow him and kind of see what it's all about. So I went over, shadowed him, spent probably half a day with him, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. I mean, his relationship with his patients, what he was doing, what he was helping with. He ran a business, which was always something I was interested in. So I just kind of thought it was interesting, thought it was cool. So I just decided that maybe that's something I wanted to pursue. Interesting enough, as I got into college, I actually went for finance to start with. I got up a couple of years in, realized I wanted nothing to do with finance. So the thought came back of like, okay, well, maybe I do want to follow this chiropractic career. So in undergrad, my undergraduate degree is in exercise physiology, which follows right into what chiropractors do and what we kind of believe in. So after graduating, I decided let's make the jump and moved to Daytona Beach, Florida. Went to chiropractic school, and that's where it all started.
That's awesome. And I love, having so many different paths that you could potentially have gone down, learning about chiropractic, exploring finance, figuring things out, finally settling on, hey, let's go down the route for chiropractic. So for listeners who may not know what that looks like in terms of what the study is and how to become a chiropractor, you have Dr. Sean Hammonds as your name.
Yes.
Tell our listeners a little bit about what does it require or take to become a chiropractor?
So to start with, you have to have an undergraduate degree. Most people probably have some form of biology, chemistry, exercise physiology is a big one. So you have to have an undergraduate degree just to even apply. And then you can apply and you go down. And then chiropractic school is actually, believe it or not, almost full-blown medical school. So the first 3 years are the exact same as medical school. It's about 4,200 hours of schooling total, where you do anatomy, physiology. You learn everything from head to toe with the body, neurology being a big one because we work with the nervous system. Where we differ and where we kind of split is that we focus on adjustments and we learn a lot of physical therapy and rehab stuff, where medical doctors learn pharmacology and then they go into their specialty of whatever they want to do, whether it's internal medicine or family practice or whatever. So our last year is just all hands-on. So we work under what's called a mod doc or a practicing chiropractor, and we are underneath them, but we get to treat patients for a whole year under our call it clinicals, and then you're able to graduate. But before you graduate, you have to take 4 tests. So they're called board exams. So we have to take 4 board exams, and then whichever state you want to work in, you have to take the state exam to be licensed in there as well. So it's a lot more schooling than people realize. So we definitely earn the doctorate degree, and it's doctorate in chiropractic versus a medical degree or doctorate in physical therapy. Ours is doctorate in chiropractic. But yeah, it's a lot of schooling, a lot of work. I mean, it's 35, 40 credit hours a semester for 4 years. I mean, it's a lot of hard-earned time. And then, whatever state you want to go into, you have to take a exam for that as well, and then you can practice in whatever state.
Yeah, I think it's super helpful to have that understanding of what truly goes into earning that credential and the certifications to be able to treat and help patients with a variety of challenges and issues. And I know we'll get into some of those. Along the way, you studied and then got a chance to work under other practitioners, but you had the itch to start your own practice with Foundations Health and Wellness. So talk to us a little bit about what that process was like of starting your own business in chiropractic.
Yeah, so there's way more than you realize when you first start out, right? And it's more than just like finding a spot, putting a shingle up and opening up. You got to worry about having the right tax identification and the right paperwork behind it, so that way you're legal. Not only just finding a spot, but a spot that makes sense for you and where you need to be and how to market. So chiropractic is different in that we have to learn how to be a chiropractor as well, and be a doctor and be safe and follow the laws and do what we're supposed to do, on top of also running a business and following the laws and doing what we're supposed to do there. So it's a two-sided element that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. 100% worth it. I love everything about it. But yeah, there's definitely a learning curve that comes to it. But it's fun. It's a good time. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like that's something we hear a lot of from our guests is we got really good at the skill that we enjoy. We want to go start our own business, and you realize, wow, there's so much more there. And so I imagine there's certainly some challenges along the way. So what are some of the challenges that you've seen or maybe experienced over the last 4 years of being in business here in Fuquay?
So some challenges, I mean, starting out, I think the biggest thing is starting small and recognizing like what you need just to make baseline and succeed. If you hit that, the stress level drops dramatically, because anything after that is gold. You know what I mean? So I learned right away, it's like how to bootstrap a little bit, especially in the beginning, and like find ways to do what you need to do, but keep it in a budget that doesn't stress you out. Because so many people want to take out these giant loans and come out with these big nest egg, and you're like, you have to work backwards to match that, versus we tried to do as little as we can to get open, just to get open and start and build from there. And I feel like that's a lot easier to do, to start small and build up, than to have a giant thing that you have to work backwards towards. So I'm super grateful we did that. And we found our spot, believe it or not, on Craigslist. So I had to search through all kinds of stuff to find it. Craigslist, had an ad on there. I literally went and searched it, and I was like, "This is perfect for what I need it to be." So we got lucky on that. It's right downtown, easy to find, right on Van Street. I mean, it was. I would say it's fate. Like we were destined to be there. So it's been great ever since. Yeah.
It's funny how many times I feel like if you've ever explored commercial real estate, tried to work with a realtor, there's so many things that happen underneath the surface that you have no clue.
Yeah, Craigslist. I mean, there are a lot of jealous people out there who go, you did what? You found it on Craigslist? Because commercial property right now is, and especially in a growing area like Fuquay-Varina, is very hard to find. And that's a great story. Yeah. LoopNet is another one where
there.
It's hard to find. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is a big challenge.
That's why I say it's fate. Like it just fell right into our hands. So it felt right. So
that's fantastic. Yeah. So, Dr. Sean, you have a nickname?
So we were talking about earlier, I can tell this story. So in high school, I do have a nickname. In high school, I played baseball, and my coach made nicknames for everybody. So my nickname was ShamWow. If you remember those commercials from back in the day. I was in high school 2006, 2009. So anytime I would make a play, whether it was pitching or hitting or anything, my coach would yell out, ShamWow. So that was the running joke through baseball.
We were both baseball players as well. So my nickname was Woody after my last name. But did you have a nickname?
I don't think Brad? I had a nickname. It was just Marshall. Everything was last name.
Last name thing.
They never really said anything.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything that the coach dictated.
Yeah, those are fun things. So if somebody comes into your practice soon and they say, "Well, hey, ShamWow," that's going to be fun.
They watch this.
We can't wait to hear. Yeah, they watch this. Yeah. So give us an overview of kind of what products or services that you offer through Foundations Health and Wellness.
Yeah, so obviously we do chiropractic adjustments. That's probably our staple. But we also have other things where I do dry needling, which has been awesome. We do soft tissue work, which is like Graston or scraping, people call it that. I also recently, over a year now, we brought in Shockwave to our practice, which has been awesome. So Shockwave is not shocking by any means, but it uses sound waves on muscles to promote blood flow, promote healing, chemical reactions in the muscle. It's been phenomenal. That's probably one of my biggest things that we use on a daily basis. Fantastic for extremities like shoulders, elbows, knee pain, plantar fasciitis has been phenomenal for. So it's been awesome to have that in the office as well. Dry needling, we've had for a while. I've been doing that since 2018 when I first started. So I do a ton of that as well. So all of those kind of supplement the adjustments that I do. So it's nice to have a few other treatments that can benefit on top of what we do with chiropractic.
So as you think about kind of some other places that people can go, what kind of makes you stand out from maybe not your competition necessarily, but maybe your competition and from going to see, a medical doctor, or how's that work in conjunction with the chiropractic services and other services you offer?
Absolutely. So I would say, especially with chiropractic, each chiropractor is so unique and different, personality-wise, technique-wise. So that adds an element of how are we different. You're going to see me, and the way we work in our office, it's not. Some offices are like this, some are not. Where it's cookie cutter, you come in, you feel like it's herding cats. Where you're like you go room to room. I try to get to know my patients and really create a relationship with them to really understand who they are. Like all my patients know that we just had a baby girl.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it. She's a month old.
That's great.
Which is wild. The most amazing thing ever, but it's definitely it's life-changing in the best way. It's been great. But all my patients know that, right? So they know everything about us. I know everything about them. Jen runs our front desk. She's phenomenal. She's got a great personality. Everyone loves her. She just had a birthday, by the way, over the weekend. So all the patients came in. They were saying happy birthday to her. Like it's just a very family-oriented, it feels family-oriented, where they come in and they don't feel just like a number, where it's like, yep, check in, I'm going to see the doc, and then I'm going to leave. They like stay, they have conversations, then we laugh, joke, have all kinds of fun stuff that happens in the office as well. My wife, her name's Morgan, she runs our social media. So if you see anything on social media from us, it's usually her. She loves doing all the fun TikTok, different videos and stuff. So if you see any of those funny, goofy videos, I'm usually the brunt of the funniness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But they're phenomenal. Everyone loves those as well. So I would say, going back, we try to be as personal as we can. It's not a cookie cutter. You're going to come in, check in, see the doc, see this person, leave, and not really have any conversations. Like, we're going to get to know you. And I feel like people absolutely love that.
That's great. And so are there any, special initiatives that you've got coming up, or any community involvement things that you guys are involved with that you're either using to promote your business or just an interest of yours?
Mm-hmm. So normally, we did Celebrate Fuquay, which just happened over this weekend. We didn't this year because of having a newborn. But Celebrate Fuquay,
you get a pass for that one. Yeah,
thank you.
Just appreciate a little one.
Celebrate Fuquay is always a big one we do. We try to go to as many chamber events as we can as well. We'll have some giveaways in the office. Like Christmas time is always a big one where we can kind of do gift baskets and do raffles and stuff. So we do a little bit around. Normally, Celebrate Fuquay is our big one, but this year we didn't do it. But there's other events around town that we'll do as well. We kind of throughout the year, we'll pick and choose which ones we do. But a lot of it's in-house. We do stuff for patients. Like we'll buy T-shirts and give away T-shirts and sweatshirts for the winter and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I love the community involvement, and I love the interaction, the relationships that you have with your patients. And so for folks out there who are listening, who are maybe a little bit curious around, like, what does this actually look like to walk in the door, become a patient, or what would draw me to come and check out your facility? Walk us through what maybe some of the type of patients you see typically, or what are some of the reasons somebody might want to come to experience some of the different techniques and modalities you have.
Yeah. So I would say I really enjoy seeing somebody who is active or wants to get back to being active. Maybe they have a previous injury or whatever it may be, or just dealing with pain in general. But they'll walk into the office, they'll meet Jen first thing. My goal is when I first meet you, really want to get to know you, figure out some of your life habits that can be affecting you. What do you want to do? What do you want out of this? Like, what is your goal? I think for me, that is the most important versus putting a number on it. Let's get you to zero pain or pain-free. It's like, what do you want to do? Do you play pickleball? Do you enjoy pickleball? Let's get you back to where you can enjoy pickleball. You're not afraid to go out there and play because you're worried about your knee or you're worried about your low back. Or maybe you just want to play with your kids. A lot of people come in, they're like, I just want to pick up my kid and not be in pain. I'm like, let's do that. That can be our goal. Or maybe they enjoy driving, or maybe they want to work longer and they just don't want to be in pain. Like we can work on all of those things. So I try to turn it more into a, what is your goal? Not how do we get you out of pain and then we'll see you when you're back in pain. Like, what do you want to do? We're going to work our way toward you can do that again and enjoy that. Enjoy life again. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love that working to have a specific goal, and it aligns so well with the name, thinking about foundations, health and wellness, of like, how do we go back to just having a foundational ability to move with limited pain or allow us to take advantage of all the things that life has to offer. So I love that. And so it sounds like a lot of times folks are coming to you because they're probably experiencing some of those painful moments. Do you recommend or encourage folks to also look at it as like a maintenance piece of like, you know what, I might not be experiencing that pain yet, but I am active, I enjoy movement, I enjoy pickleball. Let me go see how I can continue to do that without maybe getting to that painful moment.
Yeah, so I always preach it's so much easier to take care of a problem when it's a small problem versus letting it fester and become a big issue. So I always say, like, let's treat it, let's get it fixed, and then we'll just maintain it from there. Keep it a small issue. Don't ever let it fester and become bigger. And then we work with other areas around the community with, like, strength training is a big proponent that I tell people, like, that's very important. Stronger muscles tend to get injured less often. You tend to feel better, have more energy. You can do more. So strength training is a big thing that I promote. And yoga is another one, stretching, like being mobile, like use your body. You're meant to be moving. Anybody who sits all day long, I'm like, get up, stretch a little bit. Even if it's 30 seconds, that's better than nothing. Go for a walk, get outside, get some sunlight. Like all of those things can help you feel better. And you don't necessarily have to see me all the time, but if you're doing those things, you're going to do better. And then when you need me, whether it's maintenance, whether it's an issue, like we can fix it, but then I want to get you back to doing those other things. That way you can control your fate. You're not just relying on me. Like I'm there to help, absolutely. But I also want to give you tips and tricks that you can do on yourself and on your own that will keep you feeling good. And if we can do that, that's a perfect synergy. Like it works great.
Yeah, I certainly noticed that over in the gym space too, where it's good to have that relationship with people so they will talk to you when things are small or not as big. Because all of a sudden you'll have somebody who's like, oh, my knee or my foot's bothering me, plantar fasciitis, this or that. Well, how long has it been bothering you? And they'll say like, oh, like the last month. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Like, well, I thought it was just going to go away and it was going to be fine. And now it's not. And next thing you know, you're like, well, now we really got to take care of this thing because it's gotten too big where we can't just not nip it in the butt when it first happens.
True.
Yeah.
Every day.
So I imagine there's a lot of lessons that you've learned from the business side, helping patients, helping clients over the last 4 years. So what would you say are some of the big lessons that you've learned, whether you think about it from the business side or if you even want to share some of the patient-client wins that you've learned of like, hey, this is what gets me excited and fired up?
Yeah, I would say on the business side, number one, hands down, start small. Like, don't have such a big loan or an egg that you have to hurdle. If you start small and kind of bootstrap in the beginning and you make that overhead or whatever that situation is, like the stress level drops dramatically. Once you can make that overhead, like it's huge. So if you start small, that overhead tends to be smaller, less stress on you, and then you can build from there. But if you have this giant monster behind you at all times, like you're constantly stressed. So I would say I learned start small, do what you can in the beginning, even if you have to DIY it all the way through. Like you can build from there and get people and hire people to do it later. But if you start with this huge monster, like, man, that is so stressful. It's constantly on your shoulder. You're constantly thinking, you lose sleep. So start small, build from there. You'll be so much happier if you do that. And then you just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And as you get bigger, you can grow and add people and all the other fun stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah, I love that advice, that idea of just start small, do good work, and then you can build and things will grow, and then you can expand and take on more responsibilities as you go.
Yeah. So you've kind of ingrained yourself in the last 4 years here in the Fuquay-Varina area. Yeah. Besides it now, I know it's going to change now that you have a new baby girl, right? Yeah. But is there any favorite spots that you and your wife enjoy around town? Absolutely. You can name a few and throw them out.
I don't know if you guys have been yet, but Dupree's Coffee.
Ah, yes.
They've been around for a year. Phenomenal. We go there every weekend. They know a lot about us. We know a lot about them. So we always love Dupree's Coffee. It's a staple for Saturday and Sunday mornings for us. Interbeast Hatchet House is always fun. Any family that comes in, we'll take them there. They're a good time. It's just fun in general. I have a good relationship with Better Strength Company, which is Corey. He's over by the high school. That man is so smart. He makes me feel dumb sometimes the way he talks. But we have a good back and forth, and like we can really dive deep into the medical stuff. He's got such a good knowledge base. He's a big on strength training, so that kind of fits synergy wise with us. So we refer to him and back and forth, and love him. He's amazing. I always ask him questions, and he'll ask me questions, so it's a good back and forth. What's some other ones? Vicious Fishes is always a good one. We always get food from there. That's phenomenal as well.
One of the most named places in town,
Yeah,
I
they're
will
great.
say. So Vicious Fishes should be liking this all the time.
Cultivate's always a great one. Stick Boy's a good one. We got sourdough bread from there the other day. Phenomenal. So Stick Boy's always great for pastries and bread and other stuff. There's a lot around here. There really is. We actually have a really good spot.
Yeah, and I think one of the cool things about the Chamber of Commerce is that every time we have a guest in here talking about, when we ask about favorite spots, there's all these little connections of other businesses helping other businesses, whether it's through providing services or just creating a connection in the community. It's super awesome to be a part of our Chamber of Commerce and Fuquay-Varina businesses. Speaking of business, what's the best piece of business advice you've ever received?
I would say what I've said earlier, start small. Like I promise, if you start small, that stress level is so much lower. Opportunity will come. Don't jump at the first opportunity you see. Make sure it's a good fit. I'd say that's huge as well, because you'll see all kinds of things come out, and people will come flocking to you and try and market you and do different things. It's like make sure it fits your goal and what you want to do, because you're going to get all kinds of different things where you could go in 1,000 different directions. But I would say stick to one direction. Make sure you're very good at that. Start small so you can build easier from there. If you do those things, the chance of success is way higher.
Yeah, and it's a learning opportunity every day in business, of course, but it is that's a great piece of advice, to be small and not have something hanging over your head in terms of a financial number you need to hit. It makes it very stressful. You're absolutely right. Is there one surprising fact about your business, either in chiropractic or specifically Foundations Health and Wellness, that people may not realize? Is there something crazy that we wouldn't believe?
So I could talk about the actual building, because I feel like maybe it's more of an interesting fact than surprise. Yeah. So we're in downtown Van Street. It used to be the old Joyful Sounds building, where she was a music tutor. Before that, so the building's from 1946. So like one of the original buildings from here, which is wild. So it's kind of cool to have a history there. It originally started out as a feed store. So I didn't know that. So I had to go back to the history books to kind of figure out what this building was. And it's been in a bunch of different things. And I'm sure other people would know all the businesses that have been in there. But I know it started as a feed store, and then it grew. I believe an eye doctor was there at some point, and then a music tutor, and then I took over. So it's kind of cool to have a historic building that has seen however many amount of businesses that have come through those doors and the changes that have occurred. So I think that's interesting. So I like knowing the history behind the building itself.
Oh yeah, some great history in here in Fuquay-Varina. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part about Fuquay is as much as it's growing and there's new developments, but the old history around the city and what's been there and where your story continues, what's been there is really, really cool. And so you just highlighted where folks can physically find you. When you start thinking about how folks can find you, whether it's Instagram, website, what are some of the best places for folks to get in touch with what you're up to, or even come get some work done if they need it?
Yeah, our website would probably be the best. It's www.foundationshealthwellness, all one word.com. We have an Instagram. We have Facebook. It's Foundations Health Wellness. There you will find all our fun videos and informative videos. That's the fun side of the marketing that we do. That's we enjoy doing that. The website's going to give you a lot more in-depth content. You can book online with us through there as well, which a lot of people appreciate. You just go to our website, go to our book online tab, and you can literally book your first appointment, your next subsequent appointments from there. So it's really easy, really convenient. If you need to, you can always call us and give us a call, and we can book you there. The website will have information about what dry needling is, what chiropractic is. We have a video on there that kind of breaks down the first visit, which everyone comes in to like, I loved your video. That really helped me feel more relaxed when I came in, I wasn't so stressed. I kind of knew what to expect. So that's been a big hit. But yeah, our website has everything you could possibly want to know about us, our background, our history. Everyone's on there. Jen's on there. My wife's on there. And then our social media will have everybody. And that's the fun area where we get to have fun and do a lot of creative things.
Yeah, so definitely encourage you to go check out not only the website, if there's anything that you're working through or trying to work through to get back to being active in your lifestyle, certainly a way to help out there, and then have some fun along the way with social media. You highlighted that you've been a part of the chamber, enjoy going to the different events. We've highlighted some of the different businesses, but when you start to think about the benefits or some of the things that are worthwhile or helpful as a Chamber of Commerce member here, what are some of the things that come to mind for you?
I feel like number one is meeting all the different businesses that are around, like this opportunity to meet you guys through the chamber, right? So different chamber events where you get to meet somebody you may not have known or just starting a business or has been around a while. Or maybe it's something you need in your business or in your life somewhere, and you can meet somebody that does that. So it's connections, 100% connections. And you get to meet people, get to know them, get to know the real them, not just the business side. That's always fun. You'll meet them and be like, oh, you're a sports fan, you like football, or you like hockey, or whatever it may be. You get to know them as a personable person, and then also, can they help you in business, or can you use them for XYZ, or can you refer somebody to them? I know somebody that has this issue. You do this thing, this business, so I can help you there. Like that stuff is a lot of fun, and you get to meet people and make friends and make connections.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the relationships is such a huge component because, one, you can learn from others, partner with each other, collaborate. I think the amount of folks we've talked to on this podcast who have collaborated on different projects or worked with different people and tried to figure out ways to help their own community here has been fantastic. And so with that, thanks so much for being a guest on the podcast today, Dr. Sean Hammonds with Foundations Health and Wellness Chiropractic. Great conversation. Thanks for being a guest
Appreciate
today.
It, guys. Thank you so much.
Been wonderful, Dr. Sean. Thank you, and thank you to our listeners. Join us each week on the Better Together podcast from the Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce as we highlight a great local business. From the Dashmore Conference Room and Studio, sponsored by Rescue Wood Rehab, I am Marty.
And I'm Brad.
And we are Better Together.
We're better together. It's a weekly podcast. We're better together. You should know that there's more in the dash. We're better together. Fuquay-Varina Chamber of Commerce. We're better together podcast.